Winter storms, that is a term you're going to hear a lot over the next 2 weeks, as we have many of them that will be traversing across the United States with heavy snow, an ice storm threat, and the severe weather and heavy rainfall. We're going to be tracking each and every one of them here on this channel. Also, cold air will be a component to this, so we're going to be diving into all the cold air that we could be seeing this month on this video. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, follow along with all my detailed, accurate weather breakdowns, turn on the post notification bell so you're notified for this evening's video update as well. Also, like the video, give it a thumbs up, and share this video with friends, family, and on social media. I definitely appreciate it. Let's get in here and look at our impactful winter storm that we are seeing across the eastern U.S. currently, and notice it's bringing some snow up here into portions of interior New England. So more of Maine, New Hampshire, northern Vermont, and upstate New York. An ice threat where some sleet, freezing rain in between could be falling from Boston back there through portions of western Massachusetts, southern Vermont, over into central New York toward Albany, and into portions there of southern New York as well. And then the rainfall a little bit further to the south. In fact, we do have a marginal risk of some severe weather, similar areas to yesterday, and this could include some tornadoes, damaging winds, and also some large hail from Kentucky down into middle and eastern Tennessee, southern West Virginia, western Virginia, and northwestern North Carolina for today. Let's look at the storms. So here's midday. This is at noon, and notice as we go into the afternoon, about 3 o'clock, we're going to start to ignite more storms back here to the west, across western Kentucky and into Tennessee here. A couple cells also popping up into western North Carolina. As we get closer toward the evening hours, notice those will migrate a little bit further to the east, and each one of these storms will be capable of rotating, so tornadoes are in play today. And then as we go into the evening hours, we're going to lose the daytime heating with the sunshine out there, and the instability will weaken, and those thunderstorms will also weaken in intensity as well. Now let's look here at the cold side of the system. We're going to see some heavier snows on the order of about 2 to 5 inches across portions of interior New England, across portions of upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, even a few snowflakes and a couple of lighter snows down here into Connecticut, Rhode Island as well. And then here is the ice potential. Yes, impactful ice accumulations on the order of 1/10 of an inch or higher in many of these areas where you see the pink across the Northeast. That will be something to contend with. Sleet accumulations will be possible there as well. Now let's look at our temperature trends going through the rest of this week and heading into Super Bowl weekend. Notice today, mildest of the air will be to the south, coldest of the air, not overly cold, but cold enough to make you want to wear your winter coat as you walk out the door further to the north. And notice as we go into Friday, we're going to see that process repeat itself. Another storm system coming and preceding that, warmer air, colder air on the back side, and this means another winter storm will be in play for the weekend. So let's track that here. Here's where it starts, is out west. We have a lot of rain and snow that we've been seeing across California and the west coast the past few days. Here's our next storm system moving in here currently, bringing some rain and snow to the Sierras, rain to the foothills. And notice as we go into tonight, that really starts to pick up across the Sierras. Heavy snow rates 1 to 3 inches per hour here. And then some very heavy rainfall all the way down even into Southern California. And then as we go into Friday afternoon into tomorrow, notice a lot of that moisture and the energy for this system moves up into the Pacific Northwest. So Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, even Eastern Oregon, seeing some pretty heavy snowfall, rainfall in the lower elevations. Looking here at the additional rainfall accumulation, I guess you could be seeing with this atmospheric river. This is the second of two systems that is kind of propelling the atmospheric river out west, if you will, and this could be giving us another 1 to 3 inches worth of rain and some pretty decent snows across the Sierras, over around 20, maybe 24 inches, so a good 2 feet possible here, and then several inches of snow across Oregon, Washington State, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, yeah, you name it. A lot of areas out west seeing some pretty heavy snow. This goes through Sunday. Now let's look at the weekend. This could bring a similar track system across the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes Lakes and into the mid-Atlantic, northeast. This could bring a similar track to snow to the north into the upper Midwest. Ice accumulations, impactful ice from Iowa into northern Illinois, into portions of northern Indiana and Ohio, rainfall and severe weather in similar areas into Kentucky and Tennessee. And look at here as we go into Saturday afternoon, notice you see the ice, blink you miss it, a little bit narrower of an ice shield, but definitely seeing the potential from Davenport up to Rockford, Chicago, Fort Wayne over there to Toledo, and then maybe some cold air damming over toward Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, something to keep an eye on there. Severe weather on Saturday could be a problem from southern Indiana into Kentucky and Tennessee again. It's not known how intense or widespread it will be, but something we'll be tracking over the next few days. And then an all-out snowstorm across the northeast, maybe just a tad bit further south this time with the snow line. So that means more of Boston getting snow, more of Albany, New York getting snow than the ice we're seeing now. Ice threat, again, zeroing in on Pennsylvania and the Poconos here, especially in eastern Pennsylvania and northern Jersey. And then that'll kick off the coast as we start early next week on Monday, February 10th. Rainfall amounts will be decent here across the Appalachians down toward Tennessee. Could be seeing upwards over an inch of rain with this system and some severe weather. And then we have the northern side with the deeper cold air, some heavier snow from the Dakotas into the Twin Cities and the Minnesota there, all the way over here toward La Crosse, Green Bay, maybe as far south as Milwaukee, seeing several inches of snow. Here we could be seeing anywhere from 5 to 8 inches, and then picking up with the snow across the northeast into much of eastern New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, even Cape Cod getting in on the snow here. And this could be hefty snow over here. 8 to 15 inches will be possible with this snow across the northeast. Then in between, we talk about impactful ice accumulations, zeroing in on Pennsylvania and the Poconos region. We are seeing the potential of to a 1/4 inch of ice here with this system, with some light glaze or 1/10 of an inch of ice extending back toward Toledo, Detroit, Fort Wayne, Chicago, Rockford, and even the Davenport area there in Iowa. So be watching out for that this weekend as far as travel is concerned, maybe even some power outages at times if you get the heavier ice, especially in Pennsylvania. Now let's look here at the temperature anomalies heading through next work week, Monday, February 10th through Friday, February 14th. And notice the cold air is going to be really coming down, unloading into the northern U.S., especially for Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, all the way south here into western Kansas. Notice the warm air, though, doesn't go away. It stays across the Gulf Coast and up through the southeast and even into the mid-Atlantic next week. And that's going to set up a sharp temperature gradient, really from the Texas Panhandle up there towards southern Lake Michigan. And that, my friends, will be our storm track. So let's look at the highway for storms. Let's look at the jet stream. Where will these storms be going next week? Notice it's a pretty quick flow in the jet stream through the middle of next week. So a lot of our storms are going to be weaker. The jet stream is going to be kind of ripping them apart through the middle of next week. But once we get a little bit more of a trough to dig here, by late next week, you can see hints of that toward the northeast, but then a bigger trough, maybe just beyond next week into next weekend, around the 16th, 17th of February or so, a bigger trough could start to eject across the plains, and this could give us some problems in the form of not only some heavy snow and ice, but also severe weather with more dynamics in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Also, could give us some pretty heavy rainfall. Look at next week, between Monday, February 10th and Friday, February 14th. Heavy rains in the oranges and reds from East Texas and Oklahoma all the way to the mid-Atlantic coast. We definitely could be seeing 2 to 4 inches of additional rainfall accumulation. And look at this, folks. Southern California next week. We could actually see several inches of rain. Los Angeles down to San Diego. Love to see that, especially with areas that have been so dry for so long and the wildfire concerns. Awesome to see the rainfall. And looking here at the cold side, could be seeing quite a bit of snow for the Sierras. It'll start over here. It'll migrate toward the Rockies. And then once it gets past the Rockies, it's fair game for some big snowstorms from the Central Plains, Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and especially the Northeast. Look at the signal here for more big snows in the purples and pinks, including the I-95 corridor, New York City, all the way to Boston. Continuing to watch that. Now, beyond that, third week of February, Saturday, February 15th through the following Saturday, February 22nd. It is unknown exactly how widespread or how intense the cold air will be, but this model shows the below normal temperatures getting down into the southern plains and the lower lower Ohio Valley. This could be further north or further south in the model shows, but just giving you an idea, winter will still not be giving up into the third week of February, and this will offer more chances for some snowstorms, maybe even some ice storms that we'll have to watch into the third week of February. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, follow along with all my detailed, accurate weather breakdowns, turn on post notifications. Another video will be out this evening. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, and share this video with friends, family, and on social media. And I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe rest of their Thursday out there.